You're watching WKYT News at noon.
Good afternoon. The news continues as we now hit 12:30. Bill Bryant and Barbara Bailey here. Police say they were hoping for a quick score, but a man and woman in Somerset were caught red-handed during a burglary in Somerset.
Helen Uffman and Kevin Jones face multiple charges. Police say they were trying to steal rent checks from an apartment office. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is tracking the story in our top story at 12:30.
Police were called out here Monday night and they discovered two people trying to get into the Cundiff real estate office. Actually, they were trying to get into the rent drop box. They stuck a stick through here and were trying to get an envelope that was inside. When police showed up, they arrested 19-year-old Kevin Jones and 20-year-old Helen Uffman after a short foot chase. They were charged with various offenses, including possession of burglary tools, criminal attempt to commit burglary, and also a city ordinance against prowling. People here say that it's simply sad what these two were so desperate to do.
Very few people put cash in the drop box. Normally it is a check. We had one dropped in this morning and it was a check. But somehow or the other, and I don't know how, these people knew there was cash in the envelope, or they thought there was. They may have seen the people drop it in. You never know. But they were determined to get it out, but they failed.
Now, both 20-year-old Helen Uffman and 19-year-old Kevin Jones remain in the Pulaski County Detention Center facing these charges. Actually, one of the suspects, Helen Uffman, was arrested on an outstanding warrant for failure to appear. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The real estate manager says she doubts the pair would have been able to get the payments based on what they were using and where the envelopes were. A Bourbon County middle school teacher accused of inappropriate contact with students now faces several more charges. During arraignment today, Rick Massey was charged with 6 additional counts of harassment with physical contact, bringing the total to 15 counts involving 4 female students. The accusations against Massey date back nearly a year ago, lasting to March of this year. Now, during today's hearing, Judge Vanessa Dixon recused herself from the case. Massey will be back in court in November for a pretrial conference.
Funeral services are finally planned now for a northern Kentucky man who was murdered more than 2 months ago. Bobby Jones was last seen in July. His body was found last month near Interstate 64 in Clark County. Jones's girlfriend, Crystal Warner, was with him. She is also believed to be dead, but her body has not yet been found. Craig Pennington is charged with the couple's murders. He rented a home from them in Washington County. Jones's family says his funeral will be held on September 17th at the Letcher Independent Baptist Church in Whitesburg. Investigators in Wayne County are hoping to have an identity by this afternoon of a body found in a cave there. The coroner's office says someone found a man's body yesterday in that cave near Trails End Road. An autopsy is underway right now. Police say the body was badly decomposed.
A Bath County man faces several charges today, accused of fighting police while holding his 5-month-old child. Irvin Martin faces several felony charges. Owensville police say it all started as a domestic incident at a home in the Mount Pleasant area. Police say when the sheriff tried to arrest Martin, he ran off with his baby. At one point, police say he dropped the child. A family member finally took the baby. Police say Martin fought several officers before he was arrested. The search continues in Richmond for a man wanted in a violent robbery at a motel. It happened last month at the Super 7. Police say William Ambrose and Brett Kane robbed and threatened to kill the victim staying at the motel. Police arrested Kane over the weekend. Ambrose is still on the loose. He has an active warrant for robbery in the first degree.
Well, for the first time in 10 years, an inmate has escaped from the Barron County Jail. Police say Amber Franks sneaked away from her work assignment Tuesday near Glasgow Square. Franks was last seen in an orange shirt, gray pants, and pink tennis shoes. She was serving time on a robbery charge. The jailer believes that she may have been picked up by Jeffrey Mitchell and may be heading to Olive Hill, Kentucky. A Lexington woman is about to face a judge after being accused of forcing a 15-year-old to have sex for money. Brenda Hopewell is charged with human trafficking. Police say that she took the money that the teen made and paid her with cocaine. Hopewell is being arraigned at 1 o'clock, a few minutes away.
12 deaths over the holiday weekend in Kentucky are being linked to a dangerous batch of heroin. Calling it a crisis, last week the Kentucky Department for Public Health issued a public health advisory for fentanyl-laced heroin. The alert came after a surge in drug overdoses in recent weeks. The state says in all 15 overdoses, they were all reported at Kentucky hospitals over the Labor Day weekend, resulting in 12 deaths.
It's a tough situation for the state. You know?
A crisis,
Yeah,
as they say. Well, it's September, but we still have summer-like weather right now.
And we have a few more days of summer left in reality. Many areas today could reach the 90s. It's hot out there. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris now is in our First Alert Weather Center looking ahead.
Yeah, it's already 88 degrees here in Lexington. We're in the upper 80s for many locations back toward Louisville, and that has been the spot that's been very warm and also getting that humidity now involved. 85 there in London, Corbin area. Down south, again, you guys will actually be in the upper 80s, and most of us there, central, north, and western zones, we're going to be holding on to that 90-degree reading. And so the forecast for today, upper 80s, lower 90s, nothing's changing from the past couple of days, except the humidity. It's going to be increasing the next 24 to 48 hours. And typically, when you get the warm air, you get that humidity increasing, then you're going to be looking at some storms on the way. And we're going to track that weekend cold front because by the weekend, the cold front will be right over us. That gives us the best chance of rain. But that's not the only chance of rain. We have a lot of events going on starting tomorrow off into your weekend. I'm going to show you if you can expect a chance of rain during those times and also your weekend forecast. It's all coming up.
Micah, thank you. Fort Campbell, based in Kentucky, is sending about 1,400 soldiers to Afghanistan this fall. Soldiers with the 101st Airborne Division will deploy in support of Operation Freedom's Sentinel. About 400 soldiers from the 2nd Brigade combat team were deployed to Iraq last month.
Officials at an Orlando hospital say the only survivor of the Pulse nightclub massacre who was still hospitalized has now been released. 2 days after the June 12th shooting, 6 victims remained in critical condition. Despite doctors' fears that the death toll could climb higher, all of those 6 patients have survived. The attack killed 49 people and injured more than 50 others. The gunman was killed by police after a 3-hour standoff. Well, a study finds another reason why you should pay attention to what your children are watching on TV.
And that's coming up in Better Living.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Kind of depends on where you are once again for today, which will depend on the way it feels. Now, it's 88 degrees right now in Lexington. We're in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees, back towards 65. Obviously, that area is the hottest area. It's been like that the past couple of days, and it's just going to be like that today. Back toward the east and southeast, you guys aren't as hot. We're at 82 right now in Jackson and Breathitt County. Go up the Mountain Parkway. I don't see any issues at this moment and really don't expect any the rest of the afternoon. It's more about the temperatures than anything else, upper 80s, lower 90s, and we'll have that mixture of sun and clouds. No rain expected today. However, we get into the next few days. Watch what happens. Tomorrow morning, here we go with temperatures right around 70 degrees. It's going to be pretty much what we felt this morning. It's what we're going to feel tomorrow morning, except a little bit of that humidity creeping on in once again. Stay dry, though. Kids going off to the bus stop, I don't see any issues. Heading off towards your Thursday afternoon at 4 p.m., we're at 88 degrees. Some will be in the lower 90s. Again, it's going to be the same story. But clouds will start to appear, and we'll even get that chance of rain, a passing chance of rain there. By the evening hours. Now, if you're heading out to Roy Kidd Stadium there at EKU, big game, EKU Pikeville, taking on each other, big in-state game, just know this, that there's a chance of rain, but it's not a good chance. I put it at about 20%, and that's about it. So most of us are going to be dry. I don't see much of an issue for you guys during that time. As of right now, we'll see if that speeds up or gets a little bit farther toward the east. But as of right now, far north, back toward the west, that's your best bet for some rain on Thursday. That even goes for you guys, old-fashioned trading days there in Williamsburg. So if you're going out to these events, going out to these festivals, know this, that tomorrow there's not a good rain chance, but the humidity will slowly creep on up. Now, obviously, it's not tropical. It's just not that humid. but it's still pretty oppressive. And we'll have that all the way through your Friday, too. Friday, we'll add in a few more storms into the forecast. Remember this, you can always tweet me a picture. Check this shot out. And I always show these off for you guys. Kentucky Girl _UK, my walking partner, enjoying a nice sunrise. And that was in Estill County. So a really good shot there. A little boxer running around, enjoying the walk with his mama. Just tweet it to me, Micah Harris, WX. Let's check out your 7-day forecast and what you can expect next couple of days. We're still looking dry. Remember, tomorrow, southeast and east. You guys will be dry, okay? There's no chance of rain for you guys tomorrow. Now, central, north, and western zones will have a chance of rain anywhere from, I'd say, as early as 6 p.m. and rolling off into the nighttime hours. So there is that chance there, but you can see it's very late. So going out to dinner, maybe some of us get affected by that, but other than that, Friday night football could have a few rumbles of thunder, but really it's Saturday that has the best opportunity for widespread rain at 60% at this moment. After that, it looks and feels really nice. 70s in the forecast.
You know, I give you the evil eye when you're talking about Saturday.
Always. I try not to look at you.
Not always, just this week.
Just this weekend.
Not on Saturday.
Don't rain on Barb's plans.
That would be bad.
Yeah,
I'll hear it. I'll get a text or a phone call. I know I will.
Well, thank you, Micah. How alcohol ads are influencing teenagers and the dangers of irregular heartbeats.
Weijia Jiang has details in this Better Living report.
A new large study in the British Medical Journal finds people with an irregular heartbeat are at risk of a wider range of serious conditions than previously thought. The dangers include heart attack and heart failure, sudden cardiac death, and chronic kidney disease. Until now, atrial fibrillation was mainly associated with increased risk of stroke. Another reason to limit your children's TV time. Researchers in Boston found the more kids see specific brands of alcohol, the more likely they are to drink underage, and drink those brands in particular. And primary care doctors with extended hours are helping lower the number of patients who visit the emergency room. That's according to a new British study that found an almost 30% drop in ER visits when doctors added evening and weekend hours to their schedules. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Washington.
All right. Well, I guess that makes sense. The doctors are in longer, fewer people would have to go to the emergency room. Well, honoring firefighters who made the ultimate sacrifice during the 9/11 attack.
Find out how you can be a part of the Run to Remember next.
Welcome back in. Great to have you here on WKYT. You can help honor the brave first responders who lost their lives during the terrorist attacks of September 11th. Lexington firefighters will be holding the Run to Remember, and it's coming up on Friday. Chaplain
Cecil Tatum and firefighter John Girardi are here to tell us more about it. Welcome. Glad to have you here today.
All right, thank you for having us.
This event has been held in the community several times in the past. Why is it important that we remember what happened on that day and those first responders who, in many cases, gave their lives?
Well, we made a commitment to never forget. So this run commemorates those fallen firefighters from 9/11, and not just 9/11, but for all the fallen firefighters, those that are local and throughout the United States.
John, tell us what people can expect at the run. How does it work?
It's basically 4.03 miles. That's to commemorate the 403 members from FDNY, and also the police and fire here, local.
As the race is going on that day, of course, you invite people to think about what happened, certainly, but will there be some other things that also commemorate September 11th?
Yeah, we've got, the fire department has had a history of doing a week of giving, and it's basically where we do random acts of kindness for all the community members that have done great things for the fire department, for those people that have showed support for the fire department. So the week of giving actually kicks off with the Run to Remember from September the 9th till September the 18th, and we can wear a approved t-shirt from our chief, and we just try to do random acts of kindness to just say thank you.
How can people help you with this event? What do you need people to do?
Just come out and run, come out, help the runners that are there. We're also having, the next day we're having a stair climb that Saturday morning, and we're also going to be gathering at the memorial Saturday at 10 to kind of, remember. This
event will be held on Friday out at Coldstream Park. $25, right, registration?
Yes, sir.
Can people do that online, or do you show up early for the race?
They can go to Lexington Firefighters Run Sign Up, and they can still sign up. You can sign up all the way to the day of the race.
What do you want people to keep in mind as we are approaching this anniversary?
Well, we just want people to you know, it would be nice for people just to take a few minutes and just to thank and to remember, you know, the families, you know, the brotherhood, and to remember our firefighters all over the United States and those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice.
And those numbers still staggering. Just hard to believe it ever happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it very much. Thanks for what you do all the time.
We appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Coming next, a movie with Kentucky ties comes to the big screen this weekend.
We'll have a preview of Couch Survivor next on WKYT.
Welcome back in, and it's good to have you here on WKYT. And a movie with Central Kentucky and UK ties is going to be premiering here in Lexington this weekend.
We're happy to be joined by writer and director Johnny Walls to talk about Couch Survivor. Glad to have you in today.
Thanks for having me.
You had a lot of fun with this, and hopefully those who watch it will as well. Tell us about Couch Survivor. What's it about?
Okay, so the basic idea is you've got this kind of hapless TV producer. He's got this failing cable network, and he gets this terrible idea to put 7 people on a couch and basically say, let's see who can stay on the couch the longest. We'll videotape the whole thing. We'll make a reality show out of it. So that's where you get Couch Survivor, you know, kind of based on the idea of Survivor.
Yeah.
Hopefully they won't sue me,
right.
You know. But I didn't say that. But the show's not going as planned, and nothing interesting is happening because he doesn't have elimination ceremonies. He doesn't have all these things that they really do.
So they're just sitting on the couch.
They're just sitting on a couch, right? And so he's got this very purist idea that this organic thing will happen, and it's not happening. So they end up bringing this industry specialist in who his thing is he comes in and he sows seeds of discord among reality show contestants where there was none before, and so he comes in and all these antics start happening, and you've got romance and you've got fighting, and you know it's fun. It's a fun, funny movie.
You told me that you actually got this idea a long time ago and just started to act on it. What was that moment when you said, I can do it? You know, I'm going to go ahead and do this. What finally kicked it in motion?
Well, I mean, the idea was I need something that we can do on a relatively low budget. And I said, well, you know, that could be actually interesting to put a bunch of people on a couch. And then, you know, you've got a few locations around that. You've got the guys in the control room who are making the reality show. We follow them. We follow the people on the couch. But it's relatively small in scope, and so I said that's a doable first movie.
Interesting topic.
And so
I like the idea.
Yeah, so I said that I've had this idea before. We never actually did it. Me and my friends, we talked about it. We never did it. So I said I'll make a movie of it.
Will people be able to see the maybe the Kentucky UK twists in this in some way?
Yeah, well, some of the characters in the movie are from Kentucky, and none of those people are actually from Kentucky, and so they tried the accents, and I said, that's not working. You know, there are people in Kentucky with flat accents, and so those are the people that you are. We're not doing the Southern accent if you can't do it right. And one of our actors graduated from UK, and another actor grew up in Lexington. And
so you had some authentic ties.
Oh yeah, and a lot of the cast, a lot of the crew as well. A lot of Kentucky people involved.
And people can see it September 8th through the 13th at the Kentucky Theater. I hope they'll come out.
Thank you. Yeah, tomorrow night's the premiere, so that's the big one.
Let's check in with Micah before we go today.
And it looks pretty good outside. Only a couple of clouds out and about, no rain chances. But the big picture, obviously, that high pressure system moves south. Here comes that front. Chris Bailey will be in here at 4 p.m. to get you updated.
And that's WKYT News at noon. We want to thank you so much for joining us.
Your news always on at WKYT.com. Have a great day.